Okay.
And what that means is that anything I put my mind to, I can do. So I
Ooh.
think that this has
Say
shown
that
that to be
again.
true.
All right, so Jason, tell us about your YouTube journey. What
Okay.
was the decision that made
Right.
you start your YouTube channel? When you
Yeah.
went to your YouTube.com and said screens and reviews save
Where did
for
your
life?
name come from? I think that's a
That's
good
a good
starting
question.
point.
Oh, okay. So, guys, I might be like Zach. I'm gonna. There's a lot involved because a lot of what my channel is in the name and even why I felt comfortable putting myself on screen and all of that stems from different places of my life, like growing up. To start, at work, I was always talking about like the latest movie, nerd news, Spider-Man, DC, MCU, and I
Mhm.
found that I was the one that was always in the know. Coworkers might talk about certain things, but it came from a place like, "Oh, I heard this XYZ," and we just be talking about it. But I would actually know. I read the articles, I watched the videos, and I had the information to the point where I said to myself, "I love talking about this, like with them. I wanted to find a community that I can kind of talk exclusively about movies and nerd stuff with."
Mhm.
Because a lot of people in my life, they know MCU, DCU, all that stuff, but they're not as in it as I am. Like,
Yeah.
I
Invested.
collect all the movies, XYZ. So it was hard to kind of talk to people in depth about some of the things that I love. So that's why I went on YouTube to try to find that community.
Makes
And
sense.
why YouTube though? Because I could have wrote a book. I could have wrote an essay or whatever, right? In college, I went to college for creative arts and technology. So this is dealing with, I can't draw, okay, guys, but it's like using like Photoshop, computers,
Mhm.
things of that nature, animation, learning about that. It's like that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So that's why you see all the graphics, all the things, because I've done that a million times in college.
Let me just stop you here. Your
Yeah.
intro is fantastic.
Oh,
It
thanks. Yeah, I mean,
are amazing,
yeah.
and it's so smooth, and the music is perfect for it as well.
Thank you. I think the things, because I'm using Canva for things, and getting these elements together. It's like even in college learning about sound design. So
Mhm.
there's things that I've been introduced to that help me do this. I feel like my experiences through what I've learned kind
Mhm.
of warranted this, and I have a lot of different like hobbies. So for instance, like video games, right? But I would never do a YouTube about video games, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then also I play a little bit of guitar, so that was my passion. And
Really?
yeah, so I was actually
Okay.
in a band, a church band. Like
Okay.
Sundays, we would play like music, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny because when I was learning to play the guitar, that's when someone was like, "Oh, why don't you just join us?" He was a mad cool guy, Chris.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Why don't you just join us in the band, play on Sunday, XYZ, right?"
Yeah.
Albeit I'm still learning. Like, all I
Mhm.
knew was chords. I don't I can't shred it or nothing, right? But it was that experience that got me to learn the guitar even more, because now I have to play. I'm in, front of people. I'm in front of a large audience,
Yeah.
and that's just part of it. Oh, I'm sorry. What I was mentioning this for was I haven't really kept up with the guitar, and there's places where I would do something, go real hard on it, and then it kind of falls flat, right? I wanted to prove to myself that I can do this for the long haul.
Okay.
Mm.
So this is also almost self-reflection for me,
Hmm.
to keep going in this, you see? So growing up, I was like a part of another church. This is before I went to the other one that I'm actually not a part of anymore. Long story. When I was little, I was like in the children's choir. I was getting up some Sundays reading scriptures to the congregation. So being in front of people never bothered me. I feel
Gotcha.
like it I had that experience as a young child, you
Mhm.
know, um, little known fact about me, I have my black belt, in
We're just finding so
There's
much
so much
Aikido.
cool
going
ass
on
shit
here.
about this dude.
You're
Man,
you're a genie. You're essentially a genie. You play guitar.
Mm,
You're a black belt. You're a public speaker. A manager.
yeah,
Regional manager.
Regional
regional
manager.
manager,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to short you. A
It's all
regional
good.
manager. You're fluent in graphic design. Like,
Mm.
dude,
and this dude's
3
got a
kids,
wife, 3
wife.
kids,
3
and a
yeah,
three
mortgage.
I
kids,
listen,
wife. dog, Sir Bloomington, dude,
Right.
Hey,
you
underneath
are
that shirt, is there like an S?
amazing.
Like,
Oh no,
is there like
just kind of rip it open.
Oh yeah, and let's
Um,
not forget
so
that
I got the
fire hoodie
glasses,
that he has on right now.
so I'm ready.
That
Facts.
hoodie is fire.
But I
The
feel
fire
like
posters.
it's like all of these things,
Hmm.
kind of rolled up, kind of make what Screen Zen is. And so
Okay.
even with Screen Zen, the name, it's chill. You know what I mean? I don't
Hmm.
think I'm so like I can be silly, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not like some of these other YouTubers. That's
Hmm.
you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like the
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
exuberant. I
Hmm.
don't have the energy for that, guys.
Yeah.
I could not do that in every single review for you guys. But so I said, let me just be who I feel I can be, and that's chill and
Yep.
zen, right?
That's the best way to do it.
And as you heard me talking about growing up in the church. So I've grown, also like spiritually in my life and learning
Hmm.
more about that. I consider myself a truth seeker. So I'm
Hmm.
always trying to get like what's the real facts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got into like, well, not me personally, but I've learned about Buddhism and
Hmm.
different type of religions, like that. So
Yeah.
the Zen, that's where the Zen comes from.
Got
I
it.
feel like I'm
Okay.
calm giving you these reviews on
Hmm.
things that I want to see, you might want to see, come join, right? So
Yeah.
so it's a little bit involved because it's like a lot of steps in my life that culminate to me deciding to do this or feeling
That's
confident that I can do this. Yeah.
that's awesome, man. You are amazing, dude.
Thanks,
Like
Ken.
just learning all this about you has been like this has been a great stream if this is all we talked about.
Mm.
So yeah, man, I'm very happy to know you, man. Same thing with you, Zach and DJ. Let me ask you the same questions I asked Jack.
Sure.
Jack, who is Jack?
Who's Jack?
Who is Jack?
He's making up people.
I ask that question every single day. Who is
Oh, it's
Jack?
probably Jack Skellington. No, no, no.
Who
Let
is
me ask
Jack?
you the same
Why is Jack?
question.
How is Jack?
How is Jack?
Shit. Let me ask you the same thing as Zach from Zach Attack Reviews, not attacks. Attack,
Jack
singular.
attack.
Rebranding.
Right. One
Rebrand.
I can take
attack.
reviews with an
Right.
S, but not where you think.
That's hilarious. Since you started your YouTube channel, what have you learned about yourself,
Mhm.
and where do you want your YouTube channel to go from where you are now?
Again, that's just a great question, no
Mhm.
matter what, who you're asking. So I think what I learned about myself is that, and I'll actually bring this back to the martial arts. So my martial arts name is Kachi-san, and
Okay.
what that means is that anything I put my mind to, I can do. So I think
Ooh.
I think that this has
Say
shown
that
that to be
again.
true.
Say that
Yes.
again.
So Kachi-san translates to anything you put your mind to, you can achieve, you can do it.
You
And
know, when we have our Discord discussions, when you're doubting yourself, I'm just going to write Kachi-san in the chat.
there we go.
You know that, right?
But I
Wrote it
think
down. Those
that
notebook papers. I can use it later.
find myself really motivated when people are against me or people
Okay.
don't think I can do it.
Hmm.
So I have a successful video where I did the Wednesday review, season 1 review, and it kind of blew this. That was my first video that to get more than 1,000 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I just couldn't believe my eyes when that thing skyrocketed. I remember someone was at work. I was telling her I was doing the trailer and I wanted to put it out on a Wednesday.
Hmm.
Wednesday, right? Perfect.
Smart.
She
Yeah.
told me I couldn't do it. Maybe I should do it next week. So I stayed up till 3 a.m. editing,
Hmm.
reshooting, and I got that sucker out that next day. So I learned about myself that when people bet against me, that's when I go
Hmm.
hard as hell.
Okay.
So, and it's almost to the point where I want to find I feel like I'm on the Oprah show. But
You're good.
I feel like I want to find that
That
motivation within myself
Hmm.
so that so I can motivate myself to do that. Kind of meeting you guys has helped with that because
Yeah.
I see how much you're doing and I'm like, I
Hmm.
can I can totally do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
seems like it can be done.
Yeah.
And then
this guy got the
I
East
try to
Coast
execute. Yeah.
mentality. Gotta find somebody hating on me for me to be motivated. Oh my
It's
god.
Hmm.
crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy because when people are like, "Yo, he can't," I'm like, I want to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
Kachi-san
so
activate.
that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's
And
That's
don't
amazing.
play with me on the Discord, please.
No,
I'm
I
like,
won't.
no, I bet you can't do this, and
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, so I definitely
Whose
thought
voice
about
was
it.
that?
I definitely thought about it, but I was like, you don't want to hear that from your friends. You want to hear that from people
Right.
who actually don't do
Exactly.
it
Right. Right.
right.
Right.
But yeah, but the second part of it is like, where do you want your channel to go?
Yeah. So I'm
Or I'm
hoping.
sorry, what do you
Yeah.
want your channel to look like? Let's say going
Okay.
forward.
First, visually, I want it to be consistent visually.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to have like segments that I put out that are consistent over time. Like I'm always like people know me for doing them. So like whoever subscribed to me who's watching right now, I put the post for School Day Classics, but then after mulling it over and thinking about it, I changed it to Screen Zen Classics because it has a little bit of a wider breadth or scope to it.
Yeah.
I could do a lot more with it, right? So little things like that. I want to be able to put out videos consistently without going crazy, without my mental health, my family, you know what I mean? It's like kind of being pushed to the side.
That's the key.
Visually, want it to look a little bit more professional, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and it wouldn't hurt to get to monetization. If I was able to get paid on this,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, I can like quit my job one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, like during the pandemic, there was a lot of like side hustle talk and all of that. And I think this kind of fell under that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to see where it could go, but organically. I
Yeah.
wasn't running around really saying, "Oh, subscribe to me." Like people who like me to find me organically, right?
Yeah.
Without me
That
having
makes
to beg
sense.
people to show up, right?
Yeah. So yeah, man. Thank you for answering those questions, dude. We learned so much about you right now. The more we get to know you and the more your audience gets to know you,
Mhm.
the better like connection that they'll have to you and the more they'll be willing to watch your content. I'm really excited for you, dude. I think that your channel is gonna do very well just based on your passion, based on your Kachi-san attitude, dude. You're gonna do great things, man. I
Thanks, man.
really appreciate you being a part of the movie tubers.